Surprise, surprise, Tom's still eating his dinner. What'd you have?
I had about a piece of pizza before I had to run upstairs and go, shit, what time is it?
I fucking doubt you had one piece.
I swear to God I had one piece.
I've still got crust left for my pizza. How you doing, guys? Pixel Vape and Big Tom. Peace! Here. We're going to look at the SnowWolf 200w. Nice and tasty. Should we start with the box? Have you still got your box?
I have got it somewhere. Yeah, it's in my drawer.
Well, you don't have to show. I'm showing it. It's fine.
Well,
so that's.
I want to look at it at least.
All right. Okay. So that's the box it comes with. It's got a bit of information on the back. I can't actually read it from there because it's shown as mirror image. So basically, it's a 200-watt device. It's a SnowWolf 200. The size is 100mm by 52mm by 25mm. So that's height, width, and then depth. It's 230 grams without the batteries. The voltage range is 6.2 to 8.4. Output voltage is 0.5 to 7 volts. Output power is 5 watts to 200 watts. Temperature adjustment is 100 degrees Celsius to 350, and then 212 Fahrenheit to 662 Fahrenheit. And then the atomizer resistance is 0.05 to 2.5 ohms.
A lot to take in there.
Get all that?
Yeah, got a bit of that. A little bit of that there.
Just basically a box mod that can do temp control. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Inside the box, we have a warranty. 30-day warranty, very kind of them. kind of doesn't get your hopes up much, does it?
Not really.
And then quite a detailed instruction menu. Manual, but the menu's so simple in this anyway. Well, there's no menu. That's how simple it is. So yes, and that is. Let me take my hat off a sec.
Does have warnings on the menu or manual saying restriction age. So it does say SnowWolf is not suitable for persons under the age of 18, pregnant, or nursing women.
Nursing women?
That's what it says in the manual. It says the SnowWolf 200w is not suitable for persons under the age of 18, pregnant, or nursing women.
Nursing, what does that mean? If you're a nurse or if you're nursing women?
Persons at the risk of heart disease, diabetes. They're saying I should use this because I've got diabetes.
You're fucked, Tom.
Or taking medication for depression or asthma. I've got both of them. I think I'm quite fucked using this device. Shouldn't be using this.
Bin it, sell it. That's it. Review done.
No, I think that's my review. They're telling me I can't use it. I can't use it. Cheers. Really appreciate that.
Since when have you ever listened to some sort of Chinglish?
Never.
Where's it made? Oh yeah, America design, China manufacturing. Oh, okay, breastfeeding, nursing women, breastfeeding. That's not fucking breastfeeding. Breastfeeding's breastfeeding.
Was that coming from a female or was that coming from a male?
No, it was Tony Watkins.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate that. We now know you breastfeed on a weekly basis.
I could breastfeed. I know you could. Do you know, apparently, if you stimulate enough, right, apparently you can express some form of milk. Blokes can. Scientific fact.
Well, when you've tried it next week or this week coming, let me know how you get on.
I'll do it. For Vape Talk UK, I will massage my breasts up until now, until then, and then we'll see if we can express some kind of weird milky substance.
Oof. Lovely.
For everybody eating their dinner, fuck a duck. I've had mine. I had mine when someone said they were going for a Vape. Who was that? Alan J. Elder Brown, UKIP. number one. So they say. Okay, so, huh?
You keep number one.
I don't know. So that's the actual device. There, let's get some focus. Wait, there we go. I've got autofocus on Tommy Boy. That's the device there. You got 5 to 10 on the top, and it is spring loaded. You got 3 buttons on the side. You got your power button, you got your up and your down button, venting on the bottom, or vent holes, and then you got your SnowWolf 200w logo thingy on the back. Glass things on the front and the back, and then you got your battery cover where you fit your 218 650s in, and everything else is housed nicely inside, and it's a magnetic door.
A flimsy one at that one.
Well, a flimsy one for you, but mine is rock solid.
Mine is a.
Well, explain your.
As you can see, mine has a rock. A very, very bad rock.
I can't.
Yes, you can see it there. As you can see me pushing down, you can see the door. As you can see, it's not straight here. And
is your door bent?
Look. So the door isn't fixed properly. It's not the magnets. I think it's the house in itself, but it doesn't sit. It's another fucking maraca.
Whereas mine is perfectly flush.
Bitch.
So I think you just got a dodgy one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. How you finding it? Enjoying it?
I am, and I'm not. When I first got it, I absolutely loved it, but as you vape on it more and more, you'd sort of pick up certain points and things that you dislike about it. Dale's just asked what you're vaping on, Tom, and I tell you what, if it involves snooker and loopy, then fucking go to hell.
I am vaping snooker loopy. Yeah, boy. Review up later on.
That's Dale's new Fruit Loops juice.
New Fruit Loop, yeah, absolutely banging. I got the 100ml bottle about an hour ago. I think I've done about 15ml already. Dale, top up for Friday, please, pal.
Someone's just asked, have you both tried temp control on a SnowWolf? I'm going to go through that a bit later.
Yeah.
I have got a freshly built coil, and we're going to do the burn test and then see how it performs. Even though I already know how it performs, but yeah, just show you guys. And so yeah, wattage mode, fine, perfect. The only thing, it's not really a flaw, but the only thing I can pick up on is when you wake it up from its sleep, and that's annoying, by the way. When you wake it up from its sleep, it goes into temp control mode for about 3 seconds to work out whether it's camphor or nickel.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't read the new. It reads new. It says new atomizer, and it says plus or minus. And if for yes, it's plus. For no, it's minus. And sometimes it doesn't even read that.
What, the new ASSI?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's exactly the same for the DNA 40 as well. I find if you unscrew it and then you hit the fire button and hold the fire button down for about a second and screw it back on, it does ask you.
Right. I get you. I'm enjoying it though. It is a heavy piece of kit though. You do know it's in your pocket.
Well, I wouldn't even keep it in my pocket.
You really know it's there. I think it's really well made. Like, yes, it's a fingerprint magnet. I'd have preferred if they would have had the SnowWolf 200w on the side etched rather than, engraved, rather than it just being like an etch on there. I think it looked nicer with the engraving because obviously it's stainless steel. I do like I've got the vent holes on the bottom like the Sigelli as well, though, as well.
I'm just just looking in the chat. Big Tom's ma'am, which is obviously Simon. Tom, get your tongue out of Dale's bum, please.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that.
It's right. We're going to ignore Simon from now on. But yeah, no, good, solid device. Mine's perfect. Yours has got a few sort of visual flaws.
Yeah. But apart from that, though, the device is nice. The buttons are nice. I do like the buttons. I have got a few scratches. Not scratches as such, but I've got like a little bit of glass on the back that's kind of like got a little nick on it. If you drop this device, you really are fucked.
Yeah, I would agree. You probably are fucked. Another thing, actually, I saw today. I was looking at this a bit closer, and with a 22mm Atty, if you look right on the edge, if I can get that in focus, you see that little lip?
Still got an overhang, yeah?
Yeah, see, it's because the curvature on the corners is too much.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
510 moved it a little bit more. It should have moved. I think it should have been central, me personally.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but then it comes down to wiring and stuff like that. I mean, if you look, you got your 18650s there, so I don't know. They might have been able to do it, or just it's literally a millimeter.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, if you're really, really anal, you're not going to like that at all.
That overhang.
Yeah, but how big's that Atty though?
30mm.
Well, there you go. But nice, solid device. Heavy. You could lob it at someone's head. You could kill someone quite easily. I don't reckon.
No, personally, Rick, I'd like to have seen a bigger screen.
I like the screen. I think it's fine.
Got that much room on it though. It would have been nice to just have that little bit more room.
But in what way does it need a bigger screen? You got everything on there.
Well, because the device is that big, and you've got this tiny screen, like out of proportion. It really is out of proportion. But it's like Simon, he's big and he got a little penis, so that's out of proportion. You know what I mean? So it's the same. It's the same thing.
It's like Simon's logged out and then logged back in again as Simon. Right, okay, so the menu system's very, very bloody easy, and I know this is an annoying thing on your part. Okay, so I'm in wattage mode, so I can turn my watts up and down. If I press and hold both of those buttons together, it goes into Fahrenheit. So you got your temp control sort of adjuster. Get in focus again. I think it's a reflection. Oh, this could be, yeah. So I'm adjusting the Fahrenheit, pressing both together again. It goes over to wattage. But if you notice, when you press both buttons, it goes up or down on the Fahrenheit or the wattage, which I know is quite annoying for you, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a thing for me. It was like literally if you wanted to set your coil at say 45 watts and say 300 or 350 Fahrenheit, and then you literally changed it through, you was literally getting like 45.1, or you was getting it at like 35 point or 30, 35. It was stupid. I don't like it.
But pro tip for you, Simon. Simon. Tom. Right. Let's see if I can get this to stay in focus. Do you know what? Let me just autofocus just so I can demonstrate this purpose. Right. Let's get that up there. There you go. Right. Oh, so pro tip for you, okay? Let me just hold it somewhere good. So if I want to change it to Fahrenheit, I knock it up 1 degree, then hit bottom, then top. Yeah?
Yeah.
So now I'm on 420. I want to go to the wattage mode, put it to 421, bottom, then top, over to wattage. Pro tip.
Brilliant.
Bam! You can't see me now. There we go.
Awesome tip. Like that.
On Camful, it seems to read true on the ohms of the coils. If you're doing a comparison between your ohm reader and the actual device, they seem to read pretty accurately. And
yeah, because it's got that extra point. Some don't read it. They'll read it at like 0.1, 0.2. They won't read it accurate. They won't read it to that next point. So you get like I'm on a 0.68, so it'll read it to the next point.
Yeah, the Sigelli doesn't, does it?
No.
So, I mean, I like that accuracy. But all in all, in wattage mode, it's brilliant. You had an issue with the pulse.
Yes, I believe. Well, not believe. I know for a fact that 150 watts gives a more consistent vape than the Pulse at 200. I wanted to fire at 200, give it a straight vape at 200, but the Pulse on it I don't like at all because it literally does like a rattlesnake and rattles. So you can literally see the difference in the... So, for instance, that's at 100 watts. That fires straight off at 100 watts. No issues. Then when you turn it up to 200, make sure I juice it up first. So it's now on 200 watts. If that focuses, you can see it's 200. Gonna juice it with a bit of Snooky Loopy.
How's the song go?
Snooky Loopy, that's alright. And then 200 watts, Pulse, you can see it rattles. You can see it at the actual coils itself, it's rattling. And I don't like it. It doesn't give off as, it's not as hard hitting, if you could say hard hitting. It doesn't do it as much as it does on 150, and I prefer 150 than 200.
I'm waiting for that dry hit. No, okay.
No dry hit on the Zephyr Buddy, there's too much cotton in there.
Sam said, can you lock the resistance like the DNA 40? You can't lock the resistance on DNA 40. As far as I'm aware, the only one you can lock the resistance on is that Joytech one.
No, you can't. But then when you use the temp control, as we're going to hit on that though, you can just literally fire it forever.
Yeah, and we had a discussion earlier, and we did test it, and it has got a 10-second cutoff, regardless of what anybody said. We could do. Should we just do a quick live one? Fire it for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. I'll reduce the wattage down because there's no way I want to burn my my wick. All right. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. And it says, what did it say? Work overdrive. So it cuts it off at 10 seconds, whereas in temp control there is no limit because obviously you're not drawing the same amount of amps, and you're not putting as much strain on the battery or running your camphor or nickel, should I say, at a higher temperature. I
like it though. It's a sturdy device with Cantho. It's a very, very sturdy device, and it's something that, like the Sigeli, is a device that you go back to every time because it's a trustworthy device. You see it, you know, it is worthy, and a lot of people do trust Sigeli, and this for me is kind of like exactly the same. I'd trust it and go back to it every single time because I know it's going to work every time on Cantho.
If we're doing this test, I need to get a DNA 40 device out. Yeah, the main issue I've got is battery life on it. I've seen so many people say it's got a great battery life, but compared to the Sigeli, it really doesn't.
I've not really had an issue with battery life, but that's because I carry so many batteries, so I don't really recognise when changing them out. But when you're a 6 battery carrier like you are, Rick, it's kind of like
12.
Okay, so you might have upped your game in the last couple of weeks.
I have. I have. I got 6 on charge at any one time.
Yeah, for me, I like it, and it really is a device that I've not put down, and I have enjoyed it, but not with the nickel.
Should we move on to the nickel?
Yeah.
Right, let me just pop a battery in the DNA 40 device. Sing a song if you want, not Snooker Loopy. That's right. So I'm going to pop a fresh battery in here. And this is the DNA 40 Heartbeat, which is a genuine DNA 40 chip in here.
With the ugliest 510 ever.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's a pretty ugly device all around anyway. And then you got the stupid menu system. So temp control, what have I got it on? 450. Let's do it like for like. So I've got lock the device, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press both together to change the temperature. And let's go down to 420. Press and then unlock the device. And we're live. Right, okay. So I have wrapped a coil. It's twisted nickel and camphor. That's just the way I like to do it. It just makes it sturdier when you're wrapping the coils. And it's coming in on here at 0.21. I think that's 8 wraps.
What 8 wraps of in total?
8 wraps twisted. So it's 32 gauge camphor and 28 nickel.
Right.
And the reason why it works with camphor and picks up on nickel is because the electricity will always take the shortest route, which is going to be the less resistance, which will be the nickel. Right. So I'm going to put this on the DNA 40 device and just see what temperature. So it's 0.25. That said 0.21. This is saying 0.25. All right. Now, if I put it on the SnowWolf, let's see what resistance it shows. This is fun, isn't it? You enjoying yourself, Tom?
I am.
Right, let's just fire it. So it says check atomizer. Now, so it's a new atomizer. Shall I, let's zoom it. Let's do the focus again. Oh. I can't see now because Tom's made a noise. Right, so new atomizer, yes. And what's that reading at? 0.2. So 0.21. Oh, that and that seems pretty consistent.
Yeah.
420 degrees. Let's see if let's just do a dry burn test, shall we?
Yeah, do it.
Right, okay. So far in. Oh, you see that?
Yeah.
Fucked. Burnt. Completely burnt to a crisp.
Did it recognise a new atomizer or anything like that?
It did recognise the new atomizer, so I press yes. It's 0.2. It's now shot up to 0.49, and it is burnt. Dun dun dun. So yes. Temperature control is very hit and miss at the moment.
Massively.
I've had limited. Well, I've had some success on this, but well, yeah, there you go. But I've just pulled it out a little bit. The fucking state of that.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So when temperature control works, it works great. But when it doesn't, you wouldn't expect that with nickel to do that, would you?
No.
Not straight off the bat anyway. You'd expect it
should go straight to 0 watts and not fire.
Yeah.
And obviously, as you can see, this is where I'm getting at. The fact is, I've not liked it because I've not really liked vaping nickel because it's given me kind of a scratch on the back of my throat. It's not really been the same. I know we're getting all these reports about nickel and this, that, the other, and giving off certain things and stuff, but I've just not enjoyed the temp control. I just think it's not a consistent vape at all. I just prefer camphor. I don't know if it's the fact is that I've used camphor for this long, and that the fact is that it's been perfect for me. Never had an issue with camphor. And then when these things are coming out and it's not 100%, like as it's proven there, it's dry as a bone. It's meant to read 0 watts because it's not meant to fire because it's showing it's dry.
I think, well, these auto-detecting devices that auto-detect nickel or camphor, I don't like them. I would prefer a device where you actually have to select nickel, camphor, titanium. And the reason why is because if that auto detect there didn't work, so it burnt the fuck out of the wick. Now, if I could manually select nickel, it'd already put it in the right mode, and it just go fuck off, and it draw it back, and you shouldn't have any problems. So that's why I'm not a fan of the Autotech devices.
I just haven't liked it at all. I really haven't liked it, and I've not liked temperature sensing since the beginning, so I really had a negative on it. But I just, for me personally, like, I don't see why it's running like it is. It shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have done that.
I shouldn't have.
That's proving it on a live test, guys, that stuff like this is happening. It's not giving you the right thing, and it's not doing what it's supposed to.
But the thing is, with that build as well, it was a space build. That build's been proven to work. I've had it running. I have had it running on the SnowWolf as well. But when I do start off like that, I drop the wattage normally right down, and the wattage goes right down, and the temperature goes right down, just in case it does fuck up like it did. Then you can sort of save it, so to speak, and wait for it to kick in.
Yeah, and and they've been telling you that with these devices, you've literally got to sit them there till they're clap cold, and it's like, well, that's not what it's meant to do.
Yeah.
I just don't understand that. That's how you're supposed to get a base reading of the temperature, but you've not fired it yet. So
yeah, well, you saw in that was kind of 0.21, and on the SnowWolf it was coming up as 0.2. So you know, what do you do?
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I just don't. I have no time for temperature sensing or temperature control. I just don't have any time for it. I literally use my CAMFL, and that's it for me. So for me, this device, like on a whole, CAMFL wise, brilliant. Temperature sensing, we haven't got it 100% right yet, so we can't say it's working to its full, to its full potential.
I think the thing is, you do need a manual select though, to select it from temperature control over to CAMFL and back again, because without that, you get shit like that happen.
Yeah, but then, as I say, it's reading as a new atomizer. It's supposed to detect it as nickel. It's not detected it as nickel. It's lit it and it's fucking burnt it.
Well, it's detecting the ohms. That's all it's detecting.
No, because if it's testing for a new device, if it's checking for a new atomizer, what it's also checking for is the nickel as well. It's not just checking for the ohms, because if you put a new atty on it and it doesn't ask you for it, it changes the ohms straight away.
Yeah, but what I mean is, right, I'll unscrew this, right? Check atomizer. Hang on, let's get the focus in again. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Right, so check atomizer, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll screw that down. Press the button. New atty. Yes, I'll press yes, okay? Right, it's coming 0.44. Watch the Fahrenheit. It will stay there. See? So the Fahrenheit, that's when it guesses whether it's nickel or CAMFL, not when all the new atty thing is to tell you the ohms, for it to read the ohms.
So it needs an auto setting.
It needs a manual setting. I keep forgetting that I'm out of focus now. There you go.
Yeah. It's not. I just don't like it, and all these reports are coming out of nickel and stuff, and the chemicals coming off them when you burn them and stuff. It's just, I'm not keen. I know you do get the chemicals when you dry burn CAMFL. Yes, I understand that, but I've always known that, and you're starting to know that about nickel. But there is people out there that do prefer nickel, and it's all down to personal preference. Once again, dry it. I've run through a few, about 7 or 8 different builds, nickel, and I've just not enjoyed the experience at all. And I've just gone straight back to CAMFL every time.
I've never tried a nickel tank though. I mean, possibly the very sort of mildest possible, that could have been my build. But that build was well spaced. There was nothing touching, nowhere for it to short. I double checked it because I had to. I wasn't going to show a build on live on camera that was fucking as shoddy as, well, you know who.
So I just think it's an awesome cancel device. Temp control is just, it's not for me. It really isn't for me.
I do as well. I like it, but it's heavy. It is heavy.
But I think the 150 watts on this device fires better than the 150 watts on a Sigela.
Well, there you go. Well, we got some comments. Daniel Worsley. Oh, yeah, Worsley. Too much fucking about for me, that. Yep. Jane, that would drive me nuts. Chris, I'm sticking to what sod this temp control stuff. It is very pinicky. It's pinicky. It's all sort of, yeah. It's
not forgiving. Like nickel is not forgiving at all. With camphor, it's very, very, very forgiving. You know, you build it incorrect, it's going to tell you you're going to have a hot spot. With nickel, it's not going to show hotspots. It's literally just going to fuck up. It's not forgiving at all, especially with building it as well. It's not forgiving at all.
The only way you can detect hotspots on nickel is if you do a compressed coil rather than spaced. And I know there's a few people that do compressed coils. And then what you do, you can't do it on this because this is auto-detecting. You can't turn the Fahrenheit off. You can't turn the temp control off manually. But then what you do is you put it on low watts, like 10 watts or something, or even less than that. And then you just fire it, you pulse fire it, and you can actually adjust them like that. But that's closed coils, and from my experience of compressed coils don't work as well as space coils, but if they work at all.
Yeah. I just don't like the temperature sensing. I'm really, really disappointed with how it's meant to be and how it's coming across, and just the devices that are coming out with it. It's just not hitting for me.
I was quite excited about that Joytech device, I must admit, because you could lock in the ohms, like properly lock them in. I just had YouTube notifications that Tom has uploaded videos. I wonder what they could be. It must be for that snooker loopy.
It is snooker loopy, but I don't know. The whole device for me, I'm gonna do it in sections. So pulse setting, I don't like it when it pulses over 150 watts. I don't like it at all. It doesn't give me that hit that I want. It doesn't give me the desired hit at all. 150 watts in camphor for me is awesome, especially with the Zephyr Buddy. Yeah, I know people aren't going to run it at 150 watts constantly, but obviously I've got the Zephyr Buddy on it. I'm running it at 150. It's a cold vape, but it's still giving me that hit. It lights up instantly. It's brilliant. I love it. The build of it, the actual device itself is really well made. It's pretty. It's heavy. You know it's there. As I said about the SnowWolf logo, I'd rather it to be engraved rather than etched. It would have looked a little bit nicer. It is the Vishisan cycle, or the Vishisan well, it looks like it, doesn't it? It's like the clone.
They do look very similar.
It's like the clone of the body. It does really look very similar to the Vishisan. But overall, I'm probably going to give this device like a 7 out of 10.
Just for pure wattage mode.
Yeah.
I see. I like the fact that stainless devices look good on top of it. Hold fire a second. Screw the troll in, and also your black RDAs look pretty good on top as well, because you've got the stainless black sort of flip. What's this in? Oh yeah, Fuse Clapton, nice. Done that today. I was a bit bored, so I've done a Fuse Clapton. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna fire this at 150 watts.
Get that juice on it.
Oh, it's loaded. It's a single coil, so I'm gonna open up both airflows. Oh, and after 50 watts, it goes up by 0.5 rather than 0.1.
One increments up to 50 watts, then after 50 watts it does 0.5 increments, which I think is also an RSA as well.
Right, so just gonna make sure it's got plenty of juice. This is gonna probably be the shortest burst you've ever seen on 150 watts. See how angry that is. Oh, I am new at well, that's 151. That's not angry. Oh, whoa, fucking hell.
Yeah, very angry.
It started off, because it started off in that temp sensing bit, it just wasn't showing any sign of aggression. But, you know, it's as angry as a granny that you nick the shopping off of. That's nice in 150. Oh, my God. Flavour.
And do you know what I hate? You know what also I hate?
What?
People that vape like that.
I had to do it. Right, let's get a bit more juice on and let's turn it into rattlesnake mode.
It's not. It really isn't as nice.
Right, so full 200. But just listen. You hear that?
Yeah, you can hear it. Just rattlesnakes.
That's pretty. That is weaker than 150 watts.
It is weaker, a lot weaker. But it makes the fact that you can pull it for longer. But what would you need to pull it longer for? Because it's just 200 watts. Are you putting the 200 watts through it for the temperature, or are you putting the 200 watts through it for the vapor production and for it to heat up as quick?
That's a weird vaping experience. I've never fired it in pulse.
Yeah, it's not the best. Let's be honest.
And that is really weird because it's going vuh, 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 vuh. You actually get vape air, vape air, vape air.
Yeah,
which it is cooler, but it's not as harsh as 150 watts.
But it's not 200. It may be firing. It may be ramping up. That's the thing. The reason they started the whole higher wattage because they wanted your coils to heat up quicker and to get a warmer vape. What is the point of having the pulse mode on if you've got it at 200 watts because it's cooling it down?
See, well, my theory is, right, if you've got it at 200 watts and it's pulsing, so it's going on, off for the same amount of time, that's only 100 watts. Because you're pulsing at 200 and then you've got a break at 0. Then you're pulsing at 200, you've got a break at 0. Well, what's 200 divided by 2?
100.
Well, there you go. It's about 100 watts if you average it out.
I don't enjoy it as a vape, though. I really don't enjoy it as a vape. It doesn't give me that kick. I want that kick. The reason I've got a 200 watt device is to give me a kick in the arse.
But yeah, that is the first time I fired it that high, and well, you know, and vaped on it, and it is 150 does feel a lot more than the 200 pulse.
Yep.
But then the 200 pulse might serve a purpose for someone that doesn't like a warmer vape.
But it ramps up, but then as you said, it's a ramp up, then a stop, ramp up, then a stop, ramp up, then a stop. It's not a preferred setting for me. I just think the setting itself is just crock of shit.
I'll tell you what, this juice is fucking gorgeous though. It's that animal looper. Yeah. You knows it. Review for that coming out this week. Peace. Yeah, Jane, I agree. Too bloody complicated. Yeah. Actually, I quite like my theory, my 100 watt theory. I think that works quite well. It's a good way of explaining it. I wish we had some scientific background on that, but we don't. I'm just quite amazed at how long it took Tom to divide 200 by 2.
Well, I wasn't trying. I thought you was going to answer your own fucking question. I'm sat there going, is this cunt going to answer it or what? Or am I just sitting here going to answer it? Sorry, Jane, I just said the C-U-N-T word.
So yeah, to summarize, good device for wattage mode. I've had limited success in nickel. Like I had a nickel build in it. It was vaping fine, and I wasn't getting any burnt hits or anything. And then sort of halfway through the night, I started to get a burnt hit, a dry hit. So yeah, bit hit and miss from my point of view.
Yeah, 100%. Same. I'm just not keen on it at all. I think devices like this are gonna, for me personally, are going to stop me from getting temperature sensing other devices.
But they're going to drown the market. Everybody's doing it now. I'm quite interested to see the Sigeli.
Yeah, they've got the 75 and the 150, haven't they?
Yeah, but it'd be quite interesting to what they do with the menu system and whether you can actually manually change it from nickel to Campbell to titanium, which everybody's getting into these days.
Yeah, and then it's all these scaremongering stuff coming out about all the nickel and titanium being burnt and giving these chemicals. So,
but we're talking about that at Vape Talk UK on Tuesday. Peace.
Where you going?
I just finally nailed your piece. I was like, and that's it from me, Spider Hands. Daniel, who said, "Call me Bomb," put me off. Put you off. Put you off what? Put you off the SnowWolf or temperature control? Now we're probably going to have to fill a couple of minutes because we're probably behind. Yeah, but if you're not looking for temperature control, SnowWolf's brilliant. It is heavy though. I would put it in my man bag, but I'd never carry it in my pocket.
Man bag.
You got to carry a man bag. Yeah, the Toodles, Tony, is a good sign out. Toodles.
But if you're after a 150 watt device, then I'd pick up a SnowWolf over a Sigeli. I really would. Even if I was just after 100 watt to use it at 150 watts, because I wouldn't use it at 200. If I'd have known that it did the pulse, which I did know it before, but I wanted to see what it was like, and if I knew the pulse performed the way it did, I probably wouldn't have picked it up because I wanted to use it at the 200 watts. But because I know that it's a 150 watt device, that's what I'm going to use it to. That's my capabilities. That's the vape I'm going to use it for. I think it hits so much better and performs so much better than the Sigeli 150 watt. So I'd buy it just on that 150 watts. Especially
at the price point as well. What you could pick up a Sigeli. I mean, from a website, you pick up what, a Sigeli 150 for how much?
70, 80 quid.
Yeah. SnowWolf is what, 80, 90 quid?
Yeah, Grey Airs are doing theirs at £80 now. Sorry, there is other retailers out there that are selling them as well.
But Tom's sponsored by Grey Airs.
Sponsored by nobody.
Sponsored by Life.
But Grey Airs, if you want to send me some stuff, you can do that.
Yeah. But I tell you what, every Atty I've tried sits on it nicely. I'd say flush, but if it wasn't for that little millimeter sort of gap where the corners curve over.
Yeah, it is. It is a nice device. It really is a nice device.
Okay, it's put down off temp control. Good. Yeah, there are people that rave about it. I've never tried temp control in a tank because I tend not to use tanks these days. I've almost converted completely over to drippers. There are scenarios where I use tanks, which is like when I'm in a car, or I use like a Nautilus when I'm over at my friends having dinner. But
Nautilus.
Yeah. Does the 200 watt not perform the same as PWM mod. Well, I don't know what a PWM mod is. Oh, pulse width modulation mod. Well, that is basically essentially as soon as you go over 150 watts, it's pulse width modulation.
Yeah,
it goes into pulse mode.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing, and it's not all that. Really isn't. I'll be honest and will say that I am pretty disappointed with the temp control.
As a whole, what in general, or just for this device?
Everything, like the whole and this device, I am pretty disappointed.
Yeah.
Just the way that it's going and stuff, like the way that people was making it out that you could use temperature sensing or temperature control on CANFL.
It's not dumbed down enough.
Yeah.
It's like with CANFL, CANFL's very, very forgiving.
Yeah.
And as you said earlier, Tom, nickel at the moment isn't that forgiving at all, really. Mr. B, is it worth the money? The SnowWolf, yeah. I think so too. As long as you don't get a shitty door like
mine. It's down. I think, is it worth the money? That's your personal opinion. Do you know what I mean? It's where we can see the bad points and the good points. Is that this is our experiences. If you have a good experience with temperature sensing, then it's worth the full cash. You know what I mean? It's worth buying. If you know now that you're not going to enjoy the vape over 150 watts, and that's what you're buying it for, but you still want to get that punch at 150 watts, and you're thinking of buying something that goes to 150 watts, well, the main mod that goes to 150 watts that everybody buys is the Sigelei 150 watt. That is the go-to mod at the minute. And me personally, at 150 watts on the SnowWolf is a lot better than the Sigelei at 150 watts.
Yeah, you wouldn't buy it to run a K-Fun or a Nautilus or anything like that, though.
No,
because it's just way too powerful. It's too much.
Yeah, for me, this kind of device is definitely for a dripper, but then is temperature sensing for drippers, because the majority of people that are using temperature sensing are using it on a tank, and the majority of them are using stock temp coils.
Well, you know, it wouldn't be a live show without the harmonica.
Put that in your SnowWolf and vape
it. There was temptation there, but no. So, as you guys seen, we've gone through the whole device. We've shown you temp sensing. We've shown you CANFL. We've shown you it burning the fuck out of a wick in nickel mode, and well, we've shown you the whole device. We've talked about it a lot. It's the black box of magic.
Someone has mentioned that on the DNA 40, you can lock the resistance by pressing the up and down buttons in temp mode while unlocked.
The what?
You can lock. I'm just going to get the comment back up.
Do you know what? I haven't my nickel thing.
Yeah, it says you can lock the resistance on the later model DNA 40s. Press the up and down button in temp mode while unlocked, and that locks the resistance.
Right. Well, I'm not sure if this is an earlier version or a later version. Let's stick a battery in it. Let's do this shit.
Give it a go.
I haven't actually got building it though. Let's just see what it does. Right, top and bottom together. No, look. Well, it locks the power, so it locks so you can't turn the wattage up and down. Doesn't lock the resistance. But again, that it might be an earlier DNA 40 chip. I didn't think the DNA 40 chips you could lock the resistance on. You can lock the power, so you don't accidentally knock the wattage up and down. But as far as I'm aware, you can't lock the resistance in.
I think yours might have been an earlier device.
Well, blow me down with a feather. Are we just jabbering shit now? I think we are. I think we've run out of things to say about the SnowWolf.
Yeah, the SnowWolf is. Let's just finalise. Let's finalise on this SnowWolf.
Finalise? Summarise.
Finalise, summarise, kiss me ass wise, you know what I mean? Anything like that.
Kiss my ass.
Right, my question is to you, Rick, and I'm going to answer this question as well. Would you buy it if you'd played with it like this before? Would you buy it?
Yes.
Reasons?
Because I like shiny things.
You grow.
I am. I'm like a fucking magpie. If it's shiny, I'll get it. So my answer is yes, because I do like someone said mech all day for me too, or mech all day. I do like my mechs. I enjoy my mechs, but if you got 0.4 coil, for some reason a mech doesn't seem to give me the hit I need. I have to be able to adjust the wattage.
I agree. I agree with that. I like my mechs, but I do like my regulated. My answer to it, would I buy it again? It's a tough one. I'm not sure. I don't think I would.
If they guaranteed a better door,
I don't think I would. I really don't think I would. I just feel that the device as a whole is good. But it's not like wowed me. I've used it because it's been perfect in console, but as a device with temperature sensing, temperature control, whatever, it's been a bit of a shitty experience for me, and I've not really enjoyed it in that aspect. But for console, yes, if they came out and went, right, we're gonna do SnowWolf 200W, it's not gonna have temp control on it, it's just gonna be straight 200 watts, then I'd buy it. I would buy it. I'd buy it numbers of them, because if it was, but without the pulse modulation and without the temperature sensing, for me it's a console mod. That's all I'm going to use it for.
What would you buy instead then?
To be honest, I think I would actually stick with a Sigelli 150.
Yeah, Sigellis. I love Sigellis. Got my Sigelli. I love the fact that you can get wraps for them, and I mean, you wouldn't want to wrap that. Let's be fair. I did see a question. Mark Crew says, "Can you get a silica case for them?" To my knowledge, I haven't seen any. Have you?
No, I've not seen any.
Chris has said, "Is the IPv3 any good, or would you go for the Sigelli 150 watt?" Was thinking the SnowWolf, but this has put me off.
All depends. The thing is that the Sigelli's been out quite a while now, and there is going to be something else on the market. SnowWolf is obviously the newer kind of device that's come onto the market, and there's not really been anything else new. So I would personally wait for like the Sigelli 150 or the Sigelli 175 watt temp control, because I really want to try them. And if you're not happy with the temp control on the SnowWolf and you want to try temp control, wait for the Sigelli.
I mean, I've had no experience with the IPv3. Is that the plasticky one that feels cheap?
I think so.
Or is that the 4?
The 4's the one with like the rubber.
Yeah. No, I've not had any experience with the IPv. Is that Pioneer 4U?
Yes.
Yeah, no experience whatsoever. Sigelli, I've got endless hours of experience with, and the Sigelli, there's fuck all that can go wrong really. If you get the 100 watt, I've heard the button sticks sometimes, but never had that with the 150 watt. The only thing I don't like about the Sigelli is the silica covers, because you can't press your up and down buttons unless you get a nail involved. Your nail on the and I don't really have nails, so I have nails. Obviously, I'm not a fucking freak, but I don't have long nails. I don't have claws.
Beg to differ. Beg to differ. I think chat will beg to differ as well.
What, that I'm a freak? The 4 is a cheap one. The 3 is a great mod. Like I said, I've not really had any experience with the IPVs. So yeah, I don't know. Go look at some reviews for the IPv3, and then look at some reviews for the Sigelli 150. But for the price of the Sigelli 150, I think there's somewhere selling them for like 60 quid. I can't remember where that is. There's some online selling them for 60 quid.
Once again, on the SnowWolf, this is our personal experiences. This is our opinion. Don't take our opinion as gospel. If you're really thinking of getting one, go check out the reviews. I'm going to review this. I'm sure that Rick is also going to review this, but check all other reviewers out as well. Try get some more experience of how they've come across it. Don't just take it as ours as gospel if that's what you want to pick up. We're literally just giving our experiences out, guys.
Okay, so the IPv3, it's almost exactly the same as the SIG 150, except you could set 5 wattage intervals and jump between them. Oh, so it's got like a memory system in, so you can have a 20 watt, a 40 watt, a 60 watt, and you can skip through those. Okay.
Yeah, but they did that on the IPv Mini as well. So they do have all them settings as well. So that's nothing new to do with Pioneer for you. That's how they've done it across the IPv section. Anyway.
Oh, that was it. That was it. Let me just check this out. Just check this out. I realise I'm going. No. Yeah, so if you want a Sigelli 150 watt, you can get them for £61 from noblevaping.com. Now, my experience of Noble Vaping, I think they're fairly new. But they are a brilliant company. Now, I'm not trying to blow smoke up their ass or anything, but I had an issue. I ordered the, what did I fucking order? The Tesla 160 watt. And that was fucked. And basically, I contacted them and they said, yeah, send it back. And then they'll just check it out quickly. And then they'll either offer me a full refund or swap it out for something else in their shop. So, and they got back to me like within the hour as well when I emailed them. As long as you email them during work times. Yeah, so it's £61. That's cheap for Sigelli.
Proper cheap.
Yeah, so this is kind of talked into an alternative fucking talk about
the SnowWolf.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. It's definitely going to stay in my collection.
Oh yeah, the same. I'm still going to use it every day, but as I said, I'm just going to use it for the campo mode, for your general 150 watt mode. I'm not going to fire at anything like with nickel or anything like that. I'm going to use it as an all-day vape because that's all I've used it for since I picked it up.
Right. We wrapping this up then, Tombo.
I think that's us.
Tombo, play us a song. Toodles.
Take it easy, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.